Hey guys, happy Friday, happy hour Friday, and I am really excited about this one because today it's all about my favorite, bourbon. So you may or may not know, but September is actually National Bourbon Month. What could be better than National Bourbon Month? As you know by now, I love bourbon. I use it a lot. I drink it a lot. And I wanted to make a few things with bourbon for you today. And I have another new setup here for happy hour. The basement's in disarray. So I set this up. Hopefully you get a little bit better look because we're a little higher up. But let's get going. So where did bourbon come from? Bourbon is an American product. Shortly after the Revolutionary War around the 1780s, the people in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Tennessee started making bourbon. What they wanted to do was make a drink that they actually started out, they wanted to make something like scotch that they were used to from England and the British Isles, Scotland, but the rye crop failed. So they couldn't make scotch, so what did they do? So they used one of the most American of all products, corn. What they did was they mixed the corn with spring water from like fresh limestone springs. Over the time they developed bourbon. So along about 1790 or so, bourbon became so popular in the now United States that George Washington decided he was going to tax it, and that led to the Whiskey Rebellion because people didn't want to be taxed. They felt like it was just going back to the situation they were under when England's rule. But the Whiskey Rebellion failed, and people kept drinking bourbon, and everybody lived happily ever after. So let's start making some bourbon drinks. So how is bourbon made? Well, bourbon it can be made two ways, but to be bourbon, it has to be at least 51% corn. And there is the sweet mash method where they take the corn, they mix it with the limestone water and rye. They stir it, they cook it, and then it's cooled. They add barley and malt, and then they add yeast, ferment it like beer, and then after it's fermented, they distill it. And that's the sweet mash method. The sour mash method is similar to the sweet mash, but they add, when they heat it up, they add the old, the sour like remnants from a previous batch. That's how it's called, sour mash. So, enough science, let's make some drinks. So the first drink I'm gonna make for you is called a bourbon maple smash. A lot of smashes here on Happy Hour. So I need a bunch of different things. I need some maple syrup, about half an ounce. And to me, bourbon and maple just naturally go together. I need about a half ounce of orange juice, about a quarter ounce of lemon juice, couple dashes of bitters, couple slices of orange. Gonna muddle that together. A little muddled, and I'm just gonna fill the glass with some ice. And then we need the star of the show, bourbon. 2 ounces of bourbon. Give that a stir. Top it off with club soda. Why not garnish it with a piece of orange And we are off and running, my friends, to celebrate Bourbon Month with a Bourbon Maple Smash. So next up, I'm gonna make for you something called a Charleston Bog. I don't know where this drink came from. My guess would be Charleston. But a few raspberries, fresh, frozen, doesn't matter to me. A couple mint leaves. Raspberries and mint already, you know this is gonna be good. Chunk of lime. And then I need, well, first I'm gonna muddle that. So I hope you guys like bourbon as much as I do. It's just, I don't know, I don't know what it is. It's like a rich flavor, and it's like roasty and vanilla and just everything good. And then I need about a ½ ounce of honey syrup. So we made that honey syrup way back when, and who'd have thought we'd be using it way up here. So that just goes to show you, good to have your kit, your bartending kit with syrups and juices. And then I need some bourbon. I'm gonna use as much as you like, and I like. So I also need about an ounce of cranberry. Now, if you have white cranberry, that would be great. I don't happen to have white cranberry, so I use regular cranberry. And it's already got the raspberries in there, so I don't think it's gonna matter. So we need a good glass for it. And again, I forgot my strainer. Could add a little more ice just to top it off. And then I'm gonna garnish it up with just a sprig of mint. And that's number 2 on the hit parade, a Charleston Bog. So what is next? I'm gonna make you a drink. This drink is a little bit different. This drink is called a revolver. Don't ask me why. We need a couple ounces of bourbon. And then here's a different ingredient, about a third as much of coffee liqueur. Again, I'm going to put just a touch of 1 dash of bitters, because it actually calls for orange bitters, which I do not have. So I use regular bitters and just use a little bit less. Shake it up. Nice chilled cocktail glass. Garnish it up with a twist of orange rind. And when you're rimming a glass with the rind, guys, most people don't rub the inside. When you peel it, don't rub the inside, because that's the bitter part. Rub the outside, the oil-rich outside of the rind. Put that right in there. And that's number 3 today, a revolver cocktail. Okay, I'm having a lot of fun, and we're gonna do one more on the fly. This is a recipe I'm winging as we go here. Just when I saw the one cocktail with maple, I was just thinking of the flavors that would go great. They're fall flavors. Bourbon, when I think, a lot of people, they think of fall. So I'm gonna go 3 ounces of bourbon. A ounce and a half of apple juice. Now you can go either way. You can either go maple syrup or you can go the honey syrup. I'm gonna do maple syrup. Just about a half an ounce of that, a couple cubes. I have one more shaker shell. Shake it up, get it good and cold. Another chilled cocktail glass. If you had a wedge of a good sweet apple, that would be the perfect garnish, but I don't. And that closes us out with the bourbon apple cocktail. So that's it for bourbon today, guys. 4 great bourbon cocktails. 3 I looked up, 1 I made up, but they're all really good. I know you're gonna enjoy them. Like I tell you, try one, try them all, but try them responsibly. I want you here every week to have a good time on happy hour. I don't know which one I'm gonna try first because you know how I feel about bourbon, but I'm sure they're all good. I'm gonna try this one. So until I see you next time, guys, remember, take care of yourself and your home. Cheers to Bourbon Month.